Hello, Huge Movie Fanatics, continuing with Jason X. Now, this movie had kind of a, it was made and it seemed like it didn't come out, there was internet buzz, there were stills, it seemed like for a couple of years, or 3 years, or something like that, it didn't come out.
It was a while, yeah.
For a while, which is weird, because I was like, you know, I wasn't too keen on the idea, obviously, necessarily, but, you know, I was like, well, you made it, let us see it. And, you know, we saw it in the theater, and with a group of some people that I knew, and it was, you know, it was crazy. We went, well, what is it? Yeah, almost, it was 9 years without a single Jason movie, which is the longest in between since any movie started. And we were left with that horrible taste in your mouth of Jason Goes to Hell. And at the time, one thing I really liked about Jason X, it was like, oh my God, you know, Jason's back, and he's in it. For me, it was like, whoa, and I hated, I can't remember if I saw images of that Uber Jason, probably. And I was like, just like, same thing with Batman Forever, when I saw the super suit for the end of the movie, the bat suit, I was like, oh my God, not knowing that it was only going to be for the end. So I'm glad that that stupid Uber Jason is only for the end, because I think it looks so stupid. Actually, the Jason, the normal Jason, kind of looks stupid too. I don't know what the hell he's wearing, a dead, you know, deer hide around his...
I was just going to say, if Jason Goes to Hell was the best Jason, they followed it up with the worst
yeah,
Jason.
Isn't that something?
He looks so bad. The mask looks just really, truly terrible.
It is bad. And
so bad.
One thing I want to mention really quick is every time I watch, when we first saw it in the theater, and every time actually I watch it, it begins with that, whatever the hell, I guess it's in his brain or something, in his body. We thought, I guess I can't speak for, well, no, because we were talking, so that's why I think we thought it was hell, which makes perfect sense, you know. That's what even when I watch it again, even though I know it's not, I think it's hell. And then it ends up coming up or whatever, coming out of the eye. I think the opening credits are actually kind of cool, again. Jason, you don't think so? Well, that's fine, they're kind of cool. Kind of like Dr. Giggles in a lot of ways. So, you know, basically doing the autopsy or whatever, cutting up Jason or doing whatever, and then locking him up, and all of a sudden there's a Crystal Lake. That's kind of humorous when we see the little word on the type Crystal Lake Research Facility. It's like, okay, this is really stretching it. So at the time I gave it 3 stars because it was so much, I liked it better because Jason was in it, but now I'll go for 2.5. Compared to My Bloody Valentine, what Todd Farmer did in that, I thought there was a lot of cool things in this movie, and by having, and again, it played it with a tongue in cheek, obviously. I thought there were so many cool elements, like Jason being frozen and then them unlocking him, and having Jason, even when he's frozen and like, well, presumably dead or whatever, like falling over and cutting someone's arm off when he's dead. I thought that was, he has no sense of humor, but I thought that was so funny. And he's like, and since it's in the future, it's like no big deal. It's like, oh, darn it. You know, and I thought there were so many aspects that were cool. One of the kills, one of the things I think is really cool is that that video game, that elusive, that holographic video game they're playing, and Jason comes in. I think he kills both of them. Slits the guy, because I just watched this again, and slits the guy, cuts Todd Farmer's head off, and then Todd Farmer's head's like reset, you know, and it's like. And then I thought that was really actually cool. And then he kills him again. I'll let you take off.
I think this is the second worst out of the
after Final Chapter.
Yeah, after Final Chapter. This one I'm going to give 1/2 of a star.
Okay.
But I really didn't like this movie at all. I had a lot of excitement for this movie actually when it was coming out, because I'd seen the stills and whatnot. But I don't know why that made me excited. I think because he had like a chain around his chest
there was just one like that, and he got some chain.
Yeah, and I was like, what is he going to do with the chain? I guess I was like 14, so it's excusable.
Yeah,
but I was kind of excited for it, but I was more disappointed than anything because there'd been so many rumors about Freddy vs. Jason. So like they teased it. They even signed Lisa Wilcox onto a movie. She's one of the Nightmare actresses from 4 and 5. They signed her on and the 2 survivors of Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, damn.
They signed them into the movie, and the movie was good. Like, I've read pieces of the script too. The movie was gonna open with her driving down the street, and somehow Freddy's glove, them driving down the street, and Freddy's glove pops their tire. Like, somehow it was just there, it popped the tire, and she drives, Alicia Vikander drives and pulls over, and they start talking. So they were gonna start pulling characters from both franchises in and stuff like that. And this was 1997, 1998. They got like the hardcore production kind of stage. I'd been hearing about everything. All of a sudden, all the noise of Freddy vs. Jason dropped, and suddenly I saw a still for Jason X, and I was like, oh, is this the first still from Freddy vs. Jason? And then I was like, it was just Jason X, and then I saw the stupid, the Uber suit Jason, and it's like, oh god, that's bad. That looks so bad. So then I was like, well, I read the premise, and I'm like, Jason in space, that could be kind of cool. I like aliens. So, like, I was like, this might be kind of interesting, and so I held out hope. I watched the Ebert and Roper review where they said that they gave it a marginal thumbs down. They cited it as having some entertaining qualities. I think it was Ebert that really liked the Camp Crystal Lake video game thing where he's beating the girl against the tree.
That was very cool. To distract Jason, we'll put him in 1980.
Yeah, and I think that is the best and really only good part in the movie. That whole scene or scenes with the Crystal Lake. That was cool. The special effects in this movie are so bad, and I thought that at the time I was watching it, and maybe it was because it came out like really close to Resident Evil and Spider-Man, where it's just like
the budget obviously for Jason movie isn't going to be
no,
the same.
But, I mean it should be somewhat similar to probably Resident Evil. Like those are probably well matched. But Resident Evil actually had like good special effects all the way through. This I was just like, oh my god, this looks like worse than Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, which was made like 10 years prior. The special effects are just a joke throughout the movie, and they use a lot of special effects. I would have tried to minimalize that shit. Like, I know it's in space, but try not to show outside.
Well, I didn't think they were that bad.
Oh god. And I watched it recently, too.
I mean, all CG stuff looks like CG stuff to me, though, so... Well, we don't have to go on up on that anyway.
But, yeah, the special effects are just... Oh my god, so bad. Jason is just terrible looking in the movie. Like, and they had the terrible, like, music throughout the thing where, like, when he's on the hospital bed, I guess, the futuristic hospital bed, and then all of a sudden he pops up and you hear, like...
Yeah, that is...
And it's like...
stupid, I mean...
It's so bad.
It's so sad to me to think that Harry Manfredini, the guy who did all that acoustic genius stuff for the first Friday the 13th, is now... I mean, now he's devolved to, like...
Yeah, and it was just so bad. And then when he shoves her face in, and then like her face freezes, and then he breaks it, and then like it looked fake. There was no,
awesome.
That would have been cool if it had been done.
What looked fake?
But like when her head explodes, when he bashes it on the counter, and then her head breaks. Like it just looked really bad.
Looked fine.
Oh my god.
Fun.
So yeah, the movie I'm gonna give half a star. It's truly awful. I am not a fan of this movie under any stretch of the imagination, and I wanted to be. I was trying to be, and I've given it 3 viewings now, and it's never changed from day one.
I tell you, the 4th one works wonders. No, I mean I like it more than Jason Goes to Hell, mainly just because it's Jason in the movie and not, coroner.
Oddly enough, that one feels much more like a Friday the 13th movie than this one is because of this, the space aspect, which could have worked, doesn't work. Although I don't know why I think it could have worked. It didn't work for Hellraiser. It doesn't work for Leprechaun.
I don't know why I think it could have worked. So, anyway, at the time it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I still give it 2.5 because I think there's a lot of creative little touches in there, and the fact that. That little bit where the guy's like calling that other guy and he's like, I found something. He's like, this guy's got this weird list or whatever. He's like, a box of DVDs aren't worth anything. Didn't you remember that? No. It was a funny joke because it's in the future and he's talking about, box of DVDs. Anyway, if you're done, I guess we might as well.
We're done.
We might as well.
We're done with that.
You're done.
Yeah.
We might as well just cancel it out. Jason X was kind of a pain in the ass, but I mean, whatever. could have been worse, and it does get worse coming up next. Thanks for watching.